Welcome back. We've all seen and heard it in the media. Celebrities like Prince and Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson all botching their estate plans, and in some cases inadvertently leaving millions of dollars to the wrong heirs. Sometimes they go to like pets, which is strange, or worse, it ends up going to the government. Why? Rich and famous, they're not the only ones who need to worry about estate planning mishaps. As a matter of fact, you too, and everyone you know, should worry about it as well. Ashton, one of the area's leading financial professionals, here with us, as well as Kurt Harris. He's an estate planning attorney. These are the two guys we got to be talking to end up not like those guys.
I'm so excited to have my friend Kurt on.
Kurt, it's great having you
for a long time, and I finally got him on the show. He finally said yes.
Wow, Mike, congratulations. Yes. Welcome to the red chair. I'm sure this is a big moment for you.
Thank you. Getting smaller every second.
Well, the latest celebrity to have pretty much all their business plastered for all to see was Prince. What happened with Prince?
Do you know what happened to Prince?
Well, it's a really good point, what happened with Prince. Prince apparently was a very secretive type. Secretive that maybe he kept his estate planning documents so secret no one could ever find them.
Oh, wow.
But it's estimated that Prince had an estate of about $300 million. Wow. And a dispute as to who there was to go to. He had one sister and five step siblings, $300 million estate, a 40% estate tax going to the federal government, and the state of Minnesota getting 16%, and the heirs fighting over the rest. The attorneys making a bundle, and everybody making out great, except for probably the people that Prince really wanted to give the money to.
And not only are the doves crying, his entire family is crying.
This is the formerly known estate plan.
As
formerly known, yeah, sure.
So obviously having an estate plan is something we all need. Is there a way to avoid, say, in that situation, the 40% estate tax, the 16% Minnesota tax? Is there a way to avoid that?
There are. I mean, you could take a couple of examples. One of the best examples is Robin Williams, no joke. He really had his estate in very good shape and very good condition.
Yeah.
He had prenuptial agreement with the second wife. He provided for his first 3 children. He used a revocable living trust, which is the principal vehicle you want to use first. He had other trusts in place, annuities. He had a complete estate plan.
Wow.
We know very little about his estate. We're unable to find much. His spouse did challenge it, but it didn't go very far.
Because it was so well documented.
It was very well documented. And at that point, we don't know much about his estate. We don't know what it was valued, but the people that he wanted to get his money got it.
Well, here's the surprising thing. Of people who come into our office and across the nation, 4 out of 10 seniors and retirees don't have any estate plan at all.
At all.
And so when we talk about celebrities and multi-million-dollar estates, people think, oh, maybe that doesn't apply to me. But when we're dealing with people every day who have a few $100,000 in an IRA, the home they own, some savings, maybe an investment property, everybody needs to have an estate plan or a living trust, which is why we work with Kurt in our office to make sure everyone, no matter the size of the estate, has the planning that they need, because nobody wants it to go to the government. Nobody wants it tied up in the court process. Everyone wants it to go to their heirs or the charities that they choose, as opposed to floating around up there in any case, to people who just don't deserve it.
Don't just assume everything will kind of lay where it's supposed to lay, because ultimately you end up leaving it up to the courts. And even if it's a very open and shut situation, it could take months and months and months for it to get settled.
Yeah, I don't know what the average time is for a probate in Nevada.
Well, usually it's between 9 months to maybe a little over a year, year and a half.
It's very important. So what's the first step then? How do we don't have to have hundreds of millions of dollars to start an estate plan?
Yeah, no, you don't have to. So when you come into our office, we always do that as part of our consultation. We're looking at portfolio reviews. We're also asking about the estate planning documents, and if they don't have any, or they're too old or aren't doing what they think they are or supposed to be doing, we send them over to Kurt Harris's office, and then he'll take a look at them. In fact, one of the things that we find that almost no one has, except for the people who have met with Kurt before, is a return to residence document, which is a simple document that if you're institutionalized or hospitalized because you've gotten sick, it says, when I can go home, home is where I want to go.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's for hospice or home health care or something like that, as opposed to the hospitals and doctors keeping you there, charging you more than the Bellagio per night to stay at the hospital. This is a document that says, hey, when I can go home, I want to go home.
For the record, by the way, if I have my druthers, I will stay at the Bellagio.
As opposed to home?
Probably,
Room service every night.
No,
I like that idea.
It would be beautiful. The turnover service would be great. Let's talk about the biggest mistakes you end up seeing these families make.
Well, I think the big mistake is a lot of times people think that they've got everything taken care of. You want to go through an inventory, first of all, who do I want to take care of and what do I want to do? But a lot of times there's a lot of dynamics in your family that change. There's second marriages, there's deaths, there's births of grandchildren or children or one thing or another that always changes your estate plan. So you want to stay on top of it, because a lot of times people think, well, I've got it all taken care of, or I've got a will and that's all I need, when in fact they need a lot more than that.
Yeah, we say you get to raise your children, you don't get to raise who they marry. And that's often when people are coming and say, I want it to go to my child. I don't want to go to their spouse.
Yep.
I want to go to my kids and then my grandkids, but how do I set that up? And the truth is you can set that up. You've got all the ability. It's your assets, your estate. Have it go to who you want, when you want, how you want, as opposed to letting them fight over and figure it out and get attorneys involved later on.
And by the way, this isn't something you should just start doing when you're, at around the average life expectancy. This is something you should have.
You are a good example.
Far before.
You've got a kid right now,
yes.
a brand new baby, and who would you want to raise your child if something happened to you and your wife? You know, that's one of those things that in estate planning documents, guardianship for minors is also very important. So it's people of all ages should have an estate plan. We deal a lot with the seniors and retirees, but you're never too young to have some sort of estate plan set up once you're married and have children already.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, great having you.
Thanks.
And we have actually a special offer.
We got an offer? We always have an offer.
There's always something.
There's always something.
We're coming with gifts, tidings of comfort and joy. Abe and Kurt, they have a return to residence document that can help you sort all of this out. And the first 15 callers, you're going to get this free of charge. Call that number right now. It's right there on your screen, 900-8177. And for more information, you can schedule an appointment or just call that number or visit that website, ashtonstrobel.com. Ashton Strobel is a proud sponsor of the Morning Blend. Hey,